Did you know that your toddler is already picking up language skills before they even speak a word? By the time they turn 1, they can understand up to 50 words, even though they can't say them yet. Pretty incredible, right? And it doesn't stop there. Research shows that toddlers who are engaged in early communication develop stronger language skills later on, setting them up for success in school and beyond. But how do you unlock the secrets of toddler communication? It's not just about waiting for the first word to come out. The key is understanding how your child communicates before they can speak. From body language to facial expressions, toddlers are constantly trying to connect with you. It's up to you to tune in and respond in ways that boost their language development. In this guide, you'll learn how to decode your toddler's gestures, make the most out of playtime, and even reduce tantrums by encouraging them to express their feelings through words. Stay with us as we uncover strategies that will turn everyday moments into powerful learning opportunities. Chapter 1. Unlocking the Toddler Code. Decoding early signals. Toddlers may not be able to form full sentences, but they're constantly trying to communicate. Their cries, gestures, and facial expressions are their first attempts at engaging with the world. Research shows that babies start understanding language well before they can speak. By 6 months, they can recognize their name and basic words like bye-bye. Source: American Academy of Pediatrics. Understanding these early signals is key. For example, when your toddler points at something, they're trying to direct your attention. It's not just a random gesture, it's their first attempt at communication. If you follow their gaze, they'll learn that you understand them. This simple interaction builds their confidence. Studies show that toddlers learn best through positive reinforcement. If they say a word or gesture, acknowledge it and repeat it back to them. This helps reinforce their attempts to communicate. For instance, if your toddler says, "dog," while pointing to the pet, you could say, "Yes, that's the dog." They learn that their attempts are heard and valued. Another interesting fact is that toddlers can express their needs with body language long before they have the words to explain them. A 2018 study found that 80% of toddler communication before age 2 involves gestures. The next time your toddler raises their arms, they might be asking for a hug or wanting to be picked up. Recognizing these cues can reduce frustration for both of you. Don't forget to mirror their expressions. Research by Dr. Harvey Karp, author of The Happiest Toddler on the Block, shows that toddlers feel heard when we mimic their emotions. If your child is upset, calmly mimic their facial expression for a moment. It sounds simple, but this tactic builds emotional connection. Chapter 2. Beyond the Words. How toddlers speak without speaking. Before they can string together full sentences, toddlers express a lot through actions. Body language is a toddler's first language. Did you know that a toddler's gestures are often more expressive than their words? Studies from the University of California show that toddlers use more gestures than adults do in daily conversation. The first strategy for understanding this nonverbal communication is to pay close attention to eye contact. If your toddler makes eye contact with you and points at something, it's a clear invitation to join their world. Eye contact is a sign of connection, and it often means they trust you to understand what they're communicating. Their little hands can also be great communicators. If your child reaches for something, don't ignore it. This is their way of showing interest. When they make the effort to communicate through pointing or reaching, it's important to acknowledge them. Responding with enthusiasm encourages them to keep trying. You can also help them develop nonverbal communication skills by modeling. If they point at a cup, you could say, "You want the cup? Here it is." This reinforces their gesture and teaches them that actions and words go hand in hand. Another fascinating insight comes from a study published in the Journal of Communication Disorders. It found that toddlers who use a combination of gestures and words tend to develop better language skills. Encouraging these early gestures creates a stronger foundation for language learning. But communication isn't just about gestures, it's about the whole interaction. Toddlers also express their emotions through sound. Their babbling or cooing isn't just noise, it's a way of testing their vocal cords. It's a sign of their growing language skills. Each coo is a practice run for future words. Chapter 3. The Magic of Mimicry. Teaching toddlers through play. Play is a toddler's natural way of learning, and it's one of the best opportunities to teach them communication. The way they mimic what they see is an essential part of this process. In fact, research has shown that toddlers learn through imitation as much as through direct teaching. A fun strategy to boost communication is through pretend play. Simple role-playing with toys or acting out everyday scenarios helps toddlers understand the power of language. For example, pretend play with a toy phone or a doll can teach them about conversation. By taking turns with your toddler, you are not only enhancing their social skills but also helping them grasp the flow of communication. Books also play a major role in toddler communication development. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, reading aloud to toddlers increases their vocabulary by 1,000 words before age 2. That's because toddlers soak in words from the rhythm and repetition of stories. The more you engage with books, the richer their language development becomes. Toddlers love to mimic adults, and when they do, they are learning new words and concepts. A study published in Infancy found that toddlers who watched their parents and caregivers model conversation were more likely to repeat phrases and expand their vocabulary. For example, when you say, "Let's put the ball in the box," your toddler is learning words and actions together. It's also essential to use parentese, or child-directed speech, which is when you use a higher pitch and slow, clear speech. Studies show that toddlers are more likely to learn from and engage with adults who speak in this way. It's as if the playful tone captures their attention and makes learning fun. By integrating play into everyday routines, you help create a language-rich environment. Whether it's sorting toys by color or narrating your actions during mealtime, toddlers pick up new words effortlessly. The best part? They're learning while having fun, which encourages a lifelong love of communication. Make sure to subscribe for more tips on how to develop your toddler's language skills and unlock the secrets of communication early on. Chapter 4. Tuning into toddler talk. Listening between the lines. When toddlers start speaking, their words can be hard to decipher. But if you pay close attention, you can often hear the meaning behind their toddler talk. Research shows that around the age of 18 months, toddlers begin to understand simple words and phrases, even if they can't say them clearly themselves. Source: National Institute of Health. One way to tune into their speech is to listen for patterns. For example, if your child repeatedly says, "da da," when pointing to a toy, they are likely trying to identify or label things in their world. This is an important milestone in language development. Acknowledge their attempts by saying, "Yes, that's the toy." This not only validates their effort but also helps them link words to objects. Paying attention to tone is just as important as the words themselves. If your toddler's voice rises at the end of a sentence, they may be asking a question or expressing curiosity. A study from the University of Washington found that toddlers' intonation can show their emotional state, whether they are excited, confused, or even frustrated. Sometimes, toddlers substitute words they don't know with ones they can say. For example, juice might become "ju," or apple might turn into "ap." These substitutions can help you understand what they want, even if the word isn't perfect. Responding with the correct word, "Do you want some juice?" helps them learn the proper pronunciation. Another useful strategy is to repeat what they say. When a toddler says something incorrectly, you can correct it naturally by repeating the word the right way. This gentle correction teaches them proper speech without discouraging them. It's important to keep the tone friendly and positive, so they feel motivated to keep trying. Chapter 5. From tantrums to talk. Turning frustration into communication. Tantrums are often a toddler's way of expressing frustration when they can't communicate their feelings or needs. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, tantrums are a normal part of early childhood, especially when children are learning to communicate. The key to reducing tantrums is helping your toddler express themselves with words. When a tantrum begins, stay calm and speak in simple language. "I see you're upset. Can you tell me what's wrong?" By acknowledging their feelings, you're teaching them that it's okay to express emotions without throwing a tantrum. One effective strategy is to name their feelings. Instead of just saying, "Don't cry," try saying, "I see you're sad." Research shows that toddlers who are taught to identify their emotions through words are less likely to become frustrated when they don't get their way. This helps them feel understood, and it's a vital step in emotional regulation. It's also important to give your toddler choices. Offering simple choices, like, "Do you want the red cup or the blue cup?" empowers them and can prevent tantrums. The power of choice builds their confidence and helps them feel in control of their decisions. Sometimes, toddlers throw tantrums because they can't find the right words to explain what they want. To help, you can model the language they need. If your toddler is struggling to ask for a snack, you can say, "I'm hungry. Can I have a snack?" The more you model the behavior, the easier it will be for them to express their needs clearly. One interesting fact is that toddlers who are encouraged to use words to solve problems tend to have fewer tantrums as they grow. A study from developmental psychology found that toddlers who had more verbal interaction with their parents during frustration situations were more likely to develop better problem-solving skills. Chapter 6. Future Talkers. How to boost your toddler's language skills early. The earlier you start fostering your toddler's language development, the more confident they'll be in their communication as they grow. Did you know that by age 3, toddlers can know anywhere from 200 to 1,000 words? According to a study by the Hart and Risley Project, children who are exposed to more words in their early years tend to have larger vocabularies later on. Reading aloud is one of the most powerful ways to boost language skills. In fact, toddlers who are read to regularly hear up to 1,000 new words every week. It's not just about reading the words, it's about engaging your child by asking questions and discussing the pictures. A study by the American Academy of Pediatrics suggests that these interactive reading sessions significantly improve toddlers' comprehension skills. Labeling objects around the house is another great strategy. Whether you're at the grocery store or at home, saying the names of objects helps toddlers connect words to their environment. For example, saying, "This is an apple. Can you say apple?" creates a learning moment that builds their vocabulary. Don't underestimate the power of singing. Simple songs like, "The Wheels on the Bus," or "Twinkle, Twinkle," are great for toddlers because they combine rhythm with words. Research shows that toddlers who hear songs with repetitive lyrics have better language retention. Plus, songs help with memory, making it easier for toddlers to recall new words. Another effective strategy is talking about your daily activities. As you go through the day, describe what you're doing. For example, now we're putting on our shoes. First, we take off the old ones, and then we put on the new ones. This helps your toddler understand the flow of language and increases their exposure to new words. Modeling proper sentence structure is key. Instead of just giving them a yes or no answer, try to expand on their words. If your toddler says, "Dog," you can reply, "Yes, that's a big, brown dog." By expanding on their words, you help them learn how to build sentences and use more complex language. Finally, don't forget to give your toddler time to respond. If you ask them a question, pause and wait for their answer. This shows them that communication is a two-way street and encourages them to take their time when speaking. By applying these strategies, you'll help your toddler develop strong communication skills. From reading and singing to labeling objects and expanding sentences, each step you take builds a foundation for their future success in language. Keep engaging with your child, and watch as their communication abilities flourish. Don't forget to subscribe for more valuable insights on boosting your toddler's communication skills.